Cześć wszystkim, ja jestem Markas, witam was serdecznie w kolejnym odcinku z serii Zagrajmy w Alan Wake. Jesteśmy teraz w Nowym Jorku, tak? Cześć, cześć. Jesteśmy 3 lata, tak? Chyba przed wydarzeniami, które dzieją się jakby w grze. Okej. Strona maszynopisu. O, ho, 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 ho.
It's true what they say about the fall and the sudden stop at the end. I'd lain here in the snow while the lurid chain of scenes that had led me here kept playing in my head. A rerun of my own private snuff movie. A memory of my corpse. Alone at my own wake. Thinking in metaphors again. The femme fatale was gone. Only a sour taste remained of the kiss.
Okej.
It was a late goodbye. 13 years after I'd gotten my revenge, it had finally caught up with me. It had been a long time to bear the pain. My blood painted the snow red. A gruesome slushy dissolved all the scattered painkillers and leisurely dripped down to the sewer, mingling with the bile of the city, becoming one with it. I can see them now. My wife and my baby. Honey, I'm home.
To brzmi jak Max Payne, a tutaj dużo stron do znalezienia w drugim odcinku. Tu mogę wejść? Mogę. Chciałbym popatrzeć, co tu jeszcze ciekawego mogę znaleźć, ale chyba nie bardzo jest cokolwiek. Natomiast tutaj jest sypialnia.
The continuing freezing rain and heavy snowfall have necessitated a winter storm warning in the entire tri-state area. People are advised to stay indoors as many roadways are already closed, and city officials are not expecting snow.
No jakieś tam śniegi, nie śniegi. Okej. No niestety nie mogę nic zrobić. Dobra, ekspres do kawy.
Coffee's on.
Great, thanks. I'll need it if I'm gonna finish this by tomorrow.
Coś mogę w tym czasie porobić? Jakieś kubki byś wyjął, chłopie. O, naczynia pozmywał. A, mam iść do Alice, okej. Nie zauważyłem tego.
Oh, hey, I just finished those cover mock-ups. They're on your desk. Tell me what you think.
No kidding. I didn't think you'd get them done this quickly.
On occasion,
Ale
I
śliczny
can perform
chłopak.
all sorts of miracles, my dear.
Oh, really?
Well, you seemed to think so last night.
Oho. Tutaj? Nie. No jest to w tamtą stronę, ale może po prostu w biurze. Byłem tu.
These look really good.
Oh, sure, until Barry gets his hands on them. Which, by the way, will happen over my dead body. The last time was the last time. Oh, and speaking of Barry, he called.
Oho.
Alan? Alan, please check the fuse box.
I'm right here. I'm on it, honey.
Please hurry!
Już, spokojnie.
Honey, it's a power outage. I've got the flashlight.
Okay. Hi.
You okay?
Cześć.
I'm sorry. It just really spooked me.
Don't
Ta?
worry.
To idź se do lasu.
Candles.
Wtedy pogadamy, dziewczyno.
I know it's stupid, but it's just... Especially when I'm not prepared for it, you know? It gets to me.
I love you.
Tell me a story, writer.
Okay. I used to have these nightmares when I was a kid. The dark really spooked me, too. When it got really bad, my mom gave me this old light switch. She called it the clicker.
The clicker, huh?
Yeah. If I ever got scared of the dark, I could just flip the switch and a magic light would scare the monsters away.
Oh, sure.
Here it is.
Alan.
Maybe it'll help you too.
Yeah, nice story, writer boy. You made that up right now, didn't you?
No.
Nieprawda.
Seriously.
I love you, even if you are a liar. Thanks for this.
Gdzie z tymi buciorami na kanapę? Co oni w tych Amerykach?
How do you feel, Mr. Wake? Any nausea, disorientation, anything like that? Mr. Wake, how are you feeling?
I'm okay. My head's fine. I had to lie about my headache and memory loss. He'd send me to a hospital for tests. I couldn't leave without Alice.
Very well. I don't think you have a concussion, but you've obviously been through quite a shock. You should take it easy for a couple of days.
Thanks.
Well then, Mr. Wake, we're done here. If the pain gets any worse or you experience any other symptoms, you should come see me. I'll let you get on with it then. Sarah, Sheriff Breaker, is waiting for you. She's very good at her job. I'm
Okay.
sure she can locate your wife in no time.
Skoro tak mówisz. Tutaj?
Come
Cześć,
in,
Sara.
Mr. Wake. Your phone's on the desk. The battery was dead. It's charged now.
Dzięki.
Have you started looking for my wife yet?
My men are already on it. Now, can you tell me what happened?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. We were arguing. I walked out of the cabin.
The cabin on Cauldron Lake?
Dokładnie.
How did you end up at Stucky's gas station?
I wanted to tell her what had happened last night, but I couldn't. She'd lock me up. Excuse me. I need to take this. Hello?
Alan, please help me.
Alice?
Stop talking to the law. You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife.
Who is this?
Go to the back lot. There's a hole in the fence on the left. Look inside the junker. I left a little something there to convince you we're all on the same page here. After you ditch the cops, you're gonna meet me in Elderwood National Park. There's a spot called Lover's Peak.
Mr. Wake, can I help you with anything?
Don't do nothing stupid, pal. We're watching you.
I
Okej.
need to get some air. The sheriff said I could go out back.
Of course, Mr. Wake. You can get there through the silk corridor.
O, strona.
Alice looked through the viewfinder, lining up the shot. Cauldron Lake was breathtaking. Something caught her eye. A figure standing in the shadows behind the cabin, like a thin woman in a black dress. She lowered the camera and looked again. No one there. Just a collection of bushes that looked vaguely human-shaped. She shook her head and laughed.
Okej.
Hey, mister! Hey, can you turn the lights on? The deputies...
In spite of its human mask, to describe the dark presence as intelligent would have implied human qualities on something decidedly inhuman. Nonetheless, it found the one spot in the diner that was dark enough. Some light spilled into the corridor, ravaging it. But it took the pain. Horrible as it was, the writer would soon fix that. He would be coming to the one place where it still had power.
Okej, to on mówi o tej jadłodajni, w której byliśmy po klucz i o tej babie starej?
The early morning light hurt my eyes and made my head ache. The man on the phone had said, go through the fence on the left.
Kopnij. O! Dobra, chłopiec potężny. Tutaj mamy karteczkę kolejną.
The kidnapper fired his gun one last time, and the shadow vanished into the darkness it had come from. See? Nothing to it, Wake. The thought of Alice in his hands was revolting. We stood on the wooden platform of Lover's Peak, the waterfall on the mountain behind us, the lights of the radio mast blinking red in the heights above. I fought with the urge to take a swing, force myself to speak. Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife?
Ooh.
Alice's driver's license had been placed on the front seat. The
Yeah.
caller meant business. Barry?
Ow! Thank God! Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to reach you for a
O, o
week.
tym też
Where
było
now?
napisane.
I've been worried sick. I flew out yesterday. I'm here in Bright Falls.
Barry, listen to me. I'm at the sheriff's station. Come and get me. I can't talk now.
Al, what the hell is going on?
I had to get the sheriff to let me go. I needed to get to Elderwood National Park to meet Alice's kidnappers.
No, mamy tutaj Kolejny termosik. Dobra, wyznaczyli termin spotkania, wszystko spoko. Ten po nas jedzie. O.
A writer is a light that reveals the world of his story from darkness, shapes it from nothingness. The way a sculptor carves a statue from a block of granite. If I stop, the world I'm making dies. Darkness will reclaim it. It's a long, hard journey.
Marvelous, Sarah. I just wanted to settle all the damage the Anderson brothers might have inadvertently caused on their recent and regrettable little outing. They are not accountable for their actions, of course. I can assure you that my staff has been reprimanded.
Tor and Odin never caused any trouble to anyone when they were still living at their farm.
Indeed. All we can do is to slow down the progress of their...
A, to jest tych dwóch muzyków, o których mówili w restauracji.
Feeling any better, Mr. Wake?
I'd like to leave. Am I free to go?
Well, we still need to talk about...
Am I under arrest?
No, of course not. But I need to know where you'll be staying so I can get in touch with you.
I'd avoid the motel. The Majestic is known for its roaches. The cabins at Elderwood are pretty nice, though.
That sounds perfect.
I'm Dr. Emil Hartman. I'd like to invite you to stay at Cauldron Lake Lodge.
Did you talk to my wife?
I had the pleasure of discussing your situation with her on several occasions.
Did you set something up with her?
I invited her here. My clinic is a place where...
Oh!
Take it easy.
Hey, nobody move! Get your hands off of my client!
Who are you?
I'm Barry Wheeler, his agent. If you have business with Mr. Wake, you talk to me. You yokels won't know what hit you once I sick my lawyers on your asses.
No dobra, chłopiec.
Sarah, I'm all right. I don't want to press charges. Mr. Wake, my offer still stands.
Get me out of here.
What the hell was that about, Al? We don't need a replay of that thing with the paparazzi. I thought they were gonna lock you up.
I had to talk to someone. I told Barry everything. He thought I was certifiable, but when he heard about the manuscript, I had him. The fact that I'd written something, even if I couldn't remember it, was enough for him. He smelled money. And he believed that Alice had been kidnapped. Anything beyond that was another story. I had a midnight appointment with the kidnapper in a place called Lover's Peak, somewhere in Elderwood National Park. The plan was to rent a cabin.
I don't like it, Al. I don't like any of it. It's not good. In fact, it's the absolute opposite of good.
Mr. Wake! Barry, you found him!
Hi, Rose.
Oh, wow. I was just thinking about you, too.
Great.
I was just bringing Rusty some coffee. He's on the balcony, looking after Max. Poor thing. I really need to go. Great to see you again, Mr. Wake. Later!
Who's Max?
No nie wiem. Zaraz się przekonamy.
What an air.
Ale jedną rzecz, którą chcę zrobić, to filmy trochę podgłośnić.
Jeez, Mr. Takes a swing at everybody. This is not her fault. She's a very nice girl and, more importantly, a fan. She even has a fan site dedicated to you.
Oh.
And she was very helpful when I was looking for you.
Easy there, boy. I'm almost done.
Hey, Rusty, right? You rent cabins.
Oh, Mr. Wake. I'd shake your hand, but mine are kind of full here.
Biedny piesio.
Actually, I'm sorry about this. Would you mind grabbing the registration form from the desk? It's just across from Bucktooth Charlie.
Okay, sure. What happened?
Biedny piesio.
Seriously, Al, what you were saying in the car? Just listen to yourself. What, you shot a guy and his body just disappeared?
Dokładnie tak było.
What, are you high?
Tu nic nie ma. Tu nic nie ma.
Have you been drinking?
Nie.
No! Look, Barry, I'm missing a week, and someone's got Alice, and everything's just... I think this is the form you wanted.
And here are the keys. Okay, you're all set, Mr. Wake. Glad to have you staying here.
Dzięki.
Thanks. Can you tell me how to get to Lover's Peak?
Do you understand what it sounds like when you say stuff like that?
Tak.
Don't get me wrong, it's a good story, could be a bestseller. But when you start confusing fiction with reality...
Jedźmy. Trzeba znaleźć żonę. W sensie naszą żonę, a nie tak po prostu. Na przykład nową.
Al? We should go to the sheriff or call the FBI.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her! This is not a goddamn debate, Barry. I'm going to Lover's Peak. He said to come alone.
Okay then. I understand. But you're my best friend and I'm worried that you're not right in the head. Tell me what to do to help and I'll do it.
You stay here, and if I'm not back by morning, call the cavalry.
Na zdrówko. Na zdrówko.
Just be careful with the natives, Al. These yokels are dangerous. Everybody hates a tourist, or it'll be deliverance all over again.
Nie no, niech se będą światła. Baterie, o tak. Bo widzę, że straciliśmy wszystkie, które zbieraliśmy. Dobra, to gdzie ja mam wyjść? Tędy? Tak. Superancko. Znowu będzie bitka. Kolejna strona.
Barry had never gotten along with Alice, but he knew Alan loved her with an almost frightening intensity. And now something had happened to Alice. And here was Al armed with a gun and saying things people got put in padded cells for. It was as if his friend had experienced a massive psychotic episode and was now totally disconnected from reality. It scared the shit out of Barry.
No nie ma co się dziwić, też bym się przestraszył, jakby mój kumpel takie rzeczy gadał i robił. Dobra, tu nic nie ma wesołego. O.
Barry had the keys to the car he rented. Wasn't a long walk to the visitor center, and it wouldn't be any use to me in the forest. I knew I should have gone to the cops. This wasn't the smartest thing I'd ever done, but I was still angry with Barry for trying to talk me out of it. These people had called me right in the sheriff's station. The cops wouldn't scare them, and they had Alice.
To akurat ma rację, że tam policja ich raczej nie wystraszy, skoro na posterunku policji, jak był, to zadzwonili. Aha, wesołe dźwięki. Totalnie wesolutkie.
Welcome back to the show, folks. As promised, our very own Dr. Nelson has just parked his rear end in the studio. Doc, what's your Deerfest plan like?
My plan? You make it sound a lot more organized than I ever seem to manage.
Oh, yeah.
No plan, really. Just taking the atmosphere. I'm getting a little too rickety to do much more than that, you know.
Okay.
Tell me about it. No sack race for us older gentlemen, huh?
Yes, exactly, Pat. But I'm going to check out the parade, of course. And I'll be one of the pie contest judges, too.
Well, that takes a different kind of constitution.
Oh, yeah, it's my kind of exercise.
Now, Doc, seriously, you're in pretty good shape, though.
Dobra. Niech se gadają. Niech se gadają. O, superancko. Samo się ruszyło. I się zrobiło trzęsienie ziemi. Dobra, przejdźmy tutaj. Że w tym domku coś też będzie. Niepokojące to jest. Bardzo niepokojące, no ale... Wejść trzeba. Nic tu nie ma? Serio? No, kolejny odcinek tych dziwactw. No dobra.
But some crimes are impossible to punish, especially in Night Springs. Tonight's episode: The Man in the Mirror.
Dobra, nie chce mi się. Nie chcę tam leci ten odcineczek. Ja nie mam czasu, ja tu muszę żonę znaleźć, o. Kolejna strona.
The air in the visitor center was heavy with an awful smell, as if some rotten drowned thing had crawled up from its grave. Rusty kept coughing blood. My eyes were drawn to the twisted shape of his broken leg. The attack had been vicious. Max whined in his cage. Rusty's eyes were wild with fear and terror. He gasped. Mr. Wake, it happened just the way it was on that page.
Okej. Tu nic więcej nie ma. O!
The vision left me weak. This was no head injury.
Co tu się dzieje?
Rusty, hang on! I'm coming!
Please, help me!
Zasuwam.
Anybody? Help me!
O!
Help me!
Gdzieś tam chyba krzyczy, co? O, jest, no.
Anyone! Please help! Back here!
Matko jedyna.
Mr. Wake?
No.
Oh, hell. It happened just the way it was on that page. I found. Came true. It knew. So dark. It'll come back for me. You must... The lights. In the office. I have the key.
Okay, Rusty. Hang on. I'll be right back. Whatever did this couldn't be far. Rusty had found a page from the manuscript. It would help me understand what had happened.
Ja myślałem, że tu coś będzie. Ale tu nic nie ma. Dobra, stało się tak. Gdzieś w twoim biurze. A gdzie ty masz biuro? Misiaczku, pysiaczku. Ach, tu. Park Ranger Office. Czy to jest ta strona? Tak.
But the impact turned the front of the building into splinters. Rusty was thrown across the lobby like a rag doll and hit the far wall hard. It didn't hurt until he tried to move and saw his leg bend the wrong way. Felt the broken ribs stabbing him on the inside. Rusty howled in pain and fear, suddenly afraid to die alone.
Okej, czyli tak to się stało. Dobra. Nie wiem, czemu mnie obróciło w drugą stronę. Nagle. Ale mamy kolejną kartkę.
At the last instant, I changed direction and threw myself down. The axe splintered the trunk of a tree. I stumbled into the pool of bright light. My lungs burned. I was too exhausted to move. I tensed as I waited for the killing blow, but it never came. I raised my head. Nothing moved in the darkness beyond. For the moment, bathed in the cold light, I was safe.
No dobra. Czyli tak będzie. Baterie, amunicja. Super. Tu coś jest? O, siekiera.
Someone had destroyed the circuit breaker. There was no way to get the lights back on.
Oho.
Rusty! Rusty!
The ground was covered with oily patches that looked like liquid darkness.
Faktycznie. Liquid Darkness. Uuu, ale masz sierp. Ła? Gdzie jest Rusty? Oho. Nie ma pieska też. To jest coś? Jest coś dla mnie. Oho. Rusty. A, ja nie mam ekwipunku całego.
At all times. Rusty? Rusty, no! Never approach closer than 100 yards. To bears and wolves, never approach any other wildlife closer than 25 yards. Pets must be leashed at all times. Never leave your pet unattended.
Dawaj go!
It is against the law.
Szybko przeładuj. Och, prawie 2 magazynki. Okej, uniknąłem. Nie zmienia to faktu, że trochę mało baterii mam teraz. Tu jest super. Tu jestem bezpieczny. Oho.
What the hell was that? I saw from the window. I saw something.
Forget about it, Barry. It's just me going crazy.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. You're not crazy. I wish you were crazy, but you're not crazy. Ow, be careful.
Stay in the cabin. Don't open the door for anyone. I mean it.
Okej, czyli Barry też zaczął to widzieć. Superancko. Superancko. Kolejna strona.
In that last instant of consciousness, Rusty thought about Rose. He was older than she was. Rose was barely out of her teens, but she made him feel young and forget what a train wreck his long-dead marriage had been. He still wore the ring. He'd been waiting for her to tell him to take it off. Now she never would.
No teraz już mu nie powie, to prawda. Przydałyby się baterie. Dziękuję. Tylko 2. No, to nie za dużo. To nie jest dużo. No to wszystko, co się tu dzieje, to bardzo malutko bym wręcz powiedział.
Lover's Peak was at the far end of the nature trail.
Znaczy ja mogę wejść tu? Tak, bo tu będzie jakaś skrzynia. O ile się do niej dostanę. Gdzie są te kropeczki? Jest. I strzelba. I skrzynia z amunicją, bateriami i rakietnicą. Superancko. 11 baterii już mnie trochę bardziej zadowala. Trzeba przyznać. Więc super. Więc idziemy tu. Tak, oho. Wywaliło światełko. Kolejne baterie. Dobra, nie wiem, w którą stronę najwygodniej będzie. Więc zróbmy tak. Dobra, udało się. Przeładujmy i lecimy. Lover's Peak, ale tutaj jest jeszcze coś. Ta, zmęczenie. Tu mnie coś zaatakuje jak nic. Ale jest kolejna strona.
Nobody in Bright Falls seemed to know where Al was, but Rose, the waitress at the diner, had seen him. From what Barry could tell, Al pretty much fell off the face of the earth when he left the diner. Rose was just the kind of fan that Al hated, but she really tried to help. She was smart too, knew a lot about what was going on in the town, knew a lot about Al, even knew who Barry was. Barry liked her. That was no big surprise. When it came to women, Barry and Al rarely saw eye to eye.
Okej. A, to tylko strona tutaj. Okej. Czyli tylko i aż może. Trochę więcej historii przynajmniej znamy. Tu nic nie ma. Oho, dzieje się coś. Do światła! Do światła! O, jest strzelba. Ammo do strzelby. Dobra. Lovers Peak, nadchodzimy. Uczyła się taka waleczna muzyczka. O, ale się go przestraszyłem. Dobra, ten mi podniósł ciśnienie. A, bo tu nie jest sam, okej. Dobra, tak czy siak muszę wrócić do światła. Dobra, do światełka, do światełka. Na spokojnie. Wyleczmy się w światełku. A, mam jeden nabój tylko. No to wracamy do rewolwera. W tym wypadku. Ale no tego to się przestraszyłem. Hama. Okej. Tak wyskoczyć? Kurde. Dobra, jak jest ich trzech blisko, to możemy zrobić coś takiego. Zawsze pomocne jest. Ale to chyba nie będzie koniec, co? No właśnie. Za nami? Za nami czysto. Oki. Okej, tu możemy się wyleczyć. Punkt zapisu mamy. Mamy też kolejne amunicje, baterie, super. No tu standardowo popsute wszystko. Strona kolejna.
I turned the corner, afraid of what the flashlight's beam might reveal. Suddenly, a roughly painted symbol of a torch glowed in the light. Behind it, hidden by a rock, sat a battered metal trunk. It was here for a reason. Packed with supplies, batteries, flares, ammo. Things you need to make it through the darkness of the night. Something left behind by someone who knew what I knew, and more.
Okej. Czyli tu nam mówią o tym, że gdzieś tu jest skrzynia. Tu nie widzę znaku pochodni. Nigdzie. No ale dobra, może gdzieś kawałek dalej to będzie po prostu. Będziemy się trzaskać jak nic. Mhm. Dobra, dwóch zdjętych. Trzeci jest niestety potężny. A mały go osłania. Dobra, przeładuj szybciej. Dobra, mamy to. O, jeszcze. Udało mi się to. Wow. Udało mi się uchronić przed tym. Superancko. Szukam, czy gdzieś tu nie ma jakichś znaków odnośnie właśnie tej skrzyni, no ale nie widzę nic takiego za bardzo. Może tutaj? Amunicja to by się akurat przydała teraz. Też nie bardzo. Dobra, do światła. Go. Mówił coś o głazie, ale nigdzie nie widzę takowego. Że tam. A raczej wątpię. A nie, tutaj mogę przejść, więc tu może być coś akurat ukryte. O, termos na przykład. No, termos to mi dużo nie da. Wolałbym jednakowoż... czyli jakieś tam informacje o wielkim drzewie z 1800 któregoś roku. Okej. Still no ammo. Co jest dla mnie bardzo niepocieszające, więc... Trudno. Mamy 13 naboi, a tu mamy 1. Wyżej będę biegał. Od światła do światła. Mamy kolejną skrzynię. Kartkę.
Agent Nightingale didn't want to be in Bright Falls. These little communities revolted him, and he didn't like the trees or the coffee. He now knew that impossible horrors lurked behind the storefronts and smiles. He desperately wanted to turn the car around and just drive until he passed out or ran out of road and booze. But he had a job to do. He had a rider to catch, at any cost.
Złapać Alana? A po co Alana? Alan przecież jest git. Dobra, jesteśmy tu. I tu mamy zapis, więc myślę, że tutaj sobie zakończymy ten odcinek. Tak więc wielkie dzięki za oglądanie. Trzymajcie się i cześć!